it to the runs. Oh god, I'm so used to it. Oh god, I haven't done a chatting stream in a while. Really do just need to do them more often, just because it's like, hey, if I don't have any idea of what I want to stream, I might as well just pop this. Nah, I got writing to do, so I was like, you know what? I don't have any ideas for games, so screw it. I'm gonna just pop this open and get some writing done. Well, I have lo-fi playing in the background because I have a certain... I wouldn't call it a game, I'd call it an app. An app that I happen to have on Steam. Okay, so then I refreshed myself on where I'd been when it came to, where I was on this goddamn story. It's been way too long. I meant to write more of it, and then I just fell off because I'm stupid. Ay, 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 ay. Let's see. Okay, anyway. Oh, I was checking the phone. When I'm done with this, I need to put dinner into the crock pot and get ready for it. Ugh. Anyway. I'm forgetting names. Why am I forgetting names? I'm so dumb. Let's see. Not that one. Would have been... Yes. There we go. There we go. Only a couple chapters back. I was right. God, what did I do to pull my jaw like that? Fuck! Ugh. Shit. Also leaving stream elements open because I got no idea what's gonna happen. Move the alert box over. Happened there. Wait, am I? Okay, no, good. Okay, good. The overlay is in fact a layer above where I am. That's good. Wait, no, it's not. Okay, I need to make sure that's a layer above me. That would be very funny, though. That would be very funny if the alert went off and it was behind my head. But unfortunately, no. Okay. Alright, Colin. Wait, what did I name this guy? Zane. Good. There we go. That should let me actually get past the frickin' writer's block issue. Ugh. Oh, God. Okay. No, I don't need to re-describe him again. It's not too hard to do. I can take off my glasses for this. I don't really need to. Flush with it. Let's see here. Yep, no. This is the thing. This is my problem when I like freaking get hit by writer's block and then fall off of stuff for a few months. I gotta refresh myself, man. Good lord, why am I like this? I'm so bad at this. Okay. Did anyone get inside of it before the job was sent out? Let's see. It was sent in with the Seiker. We haven't got any friendly area we were able to access. It was because of this. Present. One with that development in years as a mercenary. Basically, your job is simple: delve deeper into the ruins and clear out anything that gets in your way. Be sure to abide by the last technology. Locate is purview of the nation that discovered it. Therefore, anything of value located in the ruins is to be taken in our hands for management first. My dog is dreaming. I heard him make a noise and word, and he's just dreaming. We dreaming of hunting squirrels or something. For in a second here, once I'm done refreshing myself, it's just gonna be like a few minutes of just solid typing because that's. I need to get a new keyboard. Actually, I need to get like a new proper mechanical keyboard back because I still have my old Corsair one. You know what? I'm gonna take a second though. I actually need to look up keyboards. I want to look up keyboards. Just gonna look up. Let's see here. Mechanical key. Mechanical keyboard. Let's see. Dragon doesn't seem too bad. Bowmaker, Newman, Logitech, Ooh, this one's pretty cool looking. Steel Series, Let's take a look at this one actually real quick. Ooh, like that design. Ways of Kanagawa. Ooh, ho, ho, ho. Has a little touchscreen, GIF image, volume and language, effect, Nagawa theme. Oh, an OLED. Yeah, the OLED display, top case, paper profile, keycaps, gray switches, piece of tape, all that other stuff. Add actually. I need a keyboard with a lot more room. I need something that has like the 10 key too. These are cool, but I need something with like the 10 key side. Typewriter style keyboard, I think this is a keyboard. No, this is no, it's Corsair, but it's different. buttons. Caps, yeah. More my style, I'd say. Oh, that actually. Press ideal performance. Lighting, programmable assignment, custom. Great. Profiles. Ooh. Redliner, cherry black clicky. Profile. Here. I like my keyboard's clicky. Ugh, right, these are expensive. No. I got a new keyboard though. I'm definitely gonna get it like Christmas. Because I got the current keyboard I'm using because my old one was getting a bit up in the years. You know what? We're just gonna, let's see here. Razer mechanical keyboard. Fuck it! Take a look at that. Not a Black Widow. Do a Black Widow. Hyperspeed. Fuck that shit. If I do need to get one, I can just get it from my frickin' store since we actually have decent PC shit nowadays. Jesus. Oh, shit. Let me check in with that guy. I don't know what else is he fucking DM'd. Okay. Oh, wow. A guy I hadn't heard from in ages just PM'd me. Holy crap. Alright, cool. God, I hadn't heard from that guy in ages. Anyway, I can do this funny keyboard stuff later. You doing play? Bad Monday said. Doki, what is it with you and Garfield? What the fuck? Okay, I'm just gonna keep refreshing myself on what I need to actually write, and then we'll go. Because I need to make sure, part of what I'm doing is I need to make sure I'm not repeating frickin' exposition I've already given everybody. Okay. Okay, yeah, no, I need to change up the introduction to this. This is not... Yep, nope, I already did the briefing thing, so... The Lumiere will be acting as... Alright, no, I know what I need to do. Alright, cool. Cool, I thought I would need to do that kind of scene. I was completely wrong. I remembered what I was doing. Nothing. Probably nothing. Down the actual guilty shady. Let's from outside of it. Outside of it. Trade Council. There we go. Brief little change of what I needed to do, but I feel like that settled it. I totally... God, I was writing a completely different Ron... English me, speak it! I was writing a scene that I didn't need to because it was, not set. Brain not braining, word not wording, mouth not mouthing, language not languaging. Okay. Okay, so basically describing where I am currently, I was about to write a certain kind of exposition scene because I had forgotten I had already covered that. So I don't need to do that. So I just need to have this set up and just start moving. So, okay. Okay, covered. Brain is firing off. It's starting to catch up. Oh boy, the best thing that could happen would be for me to get over the mental hurdle and just go. Let's see. Jesus. A post to make Axia, what the hell? I just opened up Twitter to check it. Okay, I'm putting my phone aside. I'm putting my phone on top of my funny little Switch. Okay, I'm gonna go off and be funny autistic. So, I have a fun little thing. I can't show it off, obviously, for obvious funny VTuber reasons. But I had to get a new carry case for my Switch games because I was running out of space for one that I had. That was like this one that I bought years ago around the time when I first got my old Switch. It's not bad. It holds like 24 games. But I need something with a bit more space. And I got one. Got one of these third-party ones that's unofficial that you can get. And it's really cool because it's thin. It's like barely bigger than my phone. It's like roughly the same size as my phone. So it's really, really compact. But it holds like 24 games. Yeah, it holds like 24 games. It's really compact. And the cool thing is, its shell looks like a Pokédex. Really cool, really fun. This is also like $10. Let me check it, actually. Let me check it. There's some really good accessories. I need to see what else they have, because I know they make a few more, because it's just really convenient to keep all the Switch cartridges in one thing. Going back to Amazon real quick. We're going back to Amazon. We're being funny. We're doing my thing because I refuse to be static. And the music is glitching because it's coming from a app that is having moments. Let's see. Switch cartridge holder. Let's see. Yep. Oh wow, they just rebranded it to Switch 2. It's just the same thing. Yeah, it was like $12. Yeah, I bought it like last year. It was like $12. Switch 2, OLED light games, blah 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 blah. Ooh, that's a big 48 one that holds. Site 48 Switch game and styled after Legend of Zelda. Let's see, what other styles of shell does this one have? Yeah, okay. Nothing, no big deal. I mean, there's just a lot that are clearly made in the same relative style. Ooh, that one's cool. It looks like a fucking Game Boy. Oh my god, there's one. Oh my god, there's a little square one that's shaped after like a, Oh, okay, it only holds 12 games, but that is cool. It's shaped after a Mario mystery block. Oh, it's a full... 16 card... Okay, that's cool. This one's just smooth. Yeah, this one's just smooth and slides open and stuff. Slides open, holds that. See, okay, there's a funny thing with these third-party Switch game cases that I think is really funny, is that, like, they have little slots behind where you put the cartridges for SD cards. Like, every cartridge slot has its own micro SD card slot. I don't know why you would need that many micro SDs for a Switch case, though. or like your Switch. So you only need like one big compatible micro SD, and then you're set. You don't need a lot of them, but it's still very funny. It's just very, very funny to me. Okay. I need to stop. I'm doing the funny autism thing of distracting myself and then going off and doing other things because I can't focus. Ha! What was that? Is that some kind of redraw? Huh. Okay, well then, never. Okay, well then. Okay, well then, I'm being distracted. Where's that person? Yeah, this is smart. Where is it? Helpful. Wouldn't be surprised. Friend. And had other reasons. It's out. Opposite. Making sure we don't do anything. Should be concerned. Like once we're actually in the ruins. Okay, there. Brain, got it all good. Feel it coming. Oh, Still? There's... Everyone's after me. Oh, that is a funny bit, actually. I did write him to be... Oh, God, I did write this guy to be really funny. Okay, right? Yep. Types you'd like to get your hands on us. Means what do we do? Game. It's here, but then let's go with the flow. Right. Then gun-ho recklessness to you. We got you killed on our last job. But you're right. We don't know enough to make any conclusions.
Wait and see. Tradition is when this all matters, so let's worry about it then. That's the first. Okay. Okay, refreshed, because then chapter 7 was just a festival. There's a good one inside. Okay. Yes, back to work. Hmm. Yeah. There we go. That was a little bit of an error. Let's correct that in the personal file. Leave that as is, you know? Ew. And... But server first means that doesn't feel surprising. Let's chase and get to why you're even here. This isn't just some dumb whim of yours, is it? It was played better. Yes, we're not so naive as to think the trial you would face over after one mere battle with the beast, do you? Not? Enough to bring it to more than a simple beast, but something other than what you could classify it as. Way too easy. Well, it is, huh? The trouble to be if Grand simply gave you mortals answers. You're on the path you are now, the place you're about to die. Answers. This trial through, not only will you find an trial, but I shall also grant you my blessing. Far more power for you to face the Black Death in the future. After all. Okay.
Okay, cool. Yep. Fucking divinely ordained bullshit. I said. Now we just play the game.
it's proper. I do hope I wasn't hurt in anything. What's going on here? Hey. Festival. The festival went well. Enjoy yourselves? In the city? Waiting for... Mind if I said? It's not a party. Party. You being here means the guild is ready for all of us to get busy. Oh, indeed. Oh, indeed. Some other teams have already made their way into the site of the ruins. And I'm here. We're slated up next. We're slated to be next. I absolutely misspelled that. What the hell you spelled? There we go. Autocorrect, I think you so. Spell check, I think the. Spell check how I think the. Let's close up stream elements for now. I don't remember the full words to the stupid Reading Rainbow song. Let's see. Let's see. Oh god, I need to watch the new Kamen Rider Zets episodes later. I have fallen behind. Okay, I keep getting distracted. I keep doing this to myself. I keep doing this to myself and getting distracted, and it's painful every time. It's like, why do I do this to myself? Let's see. It's probably to prevent. Okay. God, I'm gonna have to figure out what I want to do tomorrow. Because I'm just gonna do another just chatting stream. So
whatever. You don't like her? But we should say that. Or a more private location. Well, it's even fairly blending. And oh, hey, now, okay. Oh, I got surprised by the text. That was way too big. I clicked over. Okay, let me open up Stream Elements because I was messing with stuff. So I was trying to figure out the size of the text I needed on the overlay. Rose. Oh boy, I got 100 might be a bit too big on the text size. I need to fix that. Okay, text settings. Let's lower this to like maybe not half the size. Yeah, let's do like 60. 62 small. Let's do like 50. 45. 40. 30. There we go. Okay, there we go. That's better. That is that is bad. Okay, oh boy. I completely forgot I was messing with shit, what's my reset button? Fuck! There's the reset button. I need to stop typing with the... I forgot that all of my toggles are tied to my numpad. And so I was abusing them. Fuck. Fuck. What? Okay, there we go. My day is fine. I'm just chilling out. I decided that I didn't want to game today, so I just wanted to do a freaking chat stream. So, because I also need to get writing done. I used to do these more often, and I just stopped doing them for some reason because it was always convenient. It was like, hey, you know, I can stream and do my freaking writing stuff at the same time. Bleh. God, my glasses need to be... No, not clean. I just need new glasses, period. These lenses are old as shit. Old, scuffed, buffed, and scratched. I wonder if they were fucked like a mofo. Yeah. Yeah, I need to replace these things eventually. Okay. There we go. No, writing, it's not a work thing. I do actually have a web novel that I publish. Well, that I publish on the web novel website. Word salad. And I don't have a deadline for it because I'm on a non-exclusive contract, so I can take my time with it, but it's like, I tried to, keyword, to be a bit consistent, like trying to at least get one chapter done a month, and I was keeping that up actually pretty well, and then I fell off. And then, yeah, mostly just because of the fact that I hate that summer is exhausting for me when it comes to my day job, and it makes it hard to write and shit, because it's just tiresome. So, it's not really work or school, it's more like just a thing I do, because I do actually... Technically, I am a professional writer. I say technically, though, because it's hard to say that when it's just a web novel I got contracted for. It counts! I mean, it counts. It counts. I am a professional. Just also an amateur, though. So, you know, I'm not going to pretend as if I'm some big name in the writing scene. I'm just an amateur who happened to get a contract. So it is what it is. And so I'm finally getting back onto this, though. I'm getting onto the next 8th chapter for the current arc I'm on, and, like, I fell off. Should have been doing this way sooner, but bleh. I need to at least try to do this more consistently so I can start having more uploads running. Where's this? More than just the guild and council. That's not an interesting.
Guild itself. Guild itself has transport. Change the Stock once run.
It is my own novel. It's called World Beyond the Horizon. It's like science fantasy stuff. Basically, I just took something with a whole bunch of fantasy tropes and elements that I liked, tossed it in the kitchen sink, and said, go. I really should just put a link to it in my YouTube channel, honestly. I really should just put a link to it on the YouTube channel. Let me go to, website. Then I have to log back in, though, because it's been a hot fucking minute. Wait, no, then. Email. God, this is what I get for not remembering passwords. And is that? This is what I get for constantly forgetting which variant of my password I've been using. I guess to get lost for a while. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Here. Go to Instagram. Not that one, not that one, not that one. Maybe it's this one. I ain't doing this. That's fair. You can find it on Web Novel if you want to go look it up. Actually, I don't even need to sign in. I just need to fucking look it up. There we go. There's some actual fucking contributions. Fuck yeah. Yeah, there's some stuff I've been doing because part of it's getting stuff off the ground, but whatever. I can just remember this like. Oh, wait, no, I just totally remembered why. Because that one doesn't let you use ats, so... Hold on. Totally remembered that this... Fixed it! Ah, I totally forgot the way that site worked. Hey, Shortener, welcome. I'm just chilling and writing today because I'm busy. God. Well, no, not busy. I just had nothing better to do because I didn't want to play any games. Oh, boy. Screen closed. Studio. Anyway, remember nothing I should be doing with this. Because it helps. How many chapters do I have posted? I mean, almost at 100 in terms of how I've split things up. So I will warn you, Night Rose, the chapter does... Hey, Themets, welcome! Yeah, no, I will warn you, Night Rose, the story does get paywalled after a point because it's basically like the introduction. Because it is that kind of website. Okay, I got stream elements tweaks, so we're good here. Should I actually... Hold on. Maybe I should... Okay, maybe I should actually box the chat properly because, like you can barely see the text. You can barely see the text. Hold on, let me fix the chat box. Let me go back to stream moments and fix up the chat box because you can barely see the text on the background. I should just block it out. Streams chat. Settings. Having to... If I'm moving weird, it's because I'm moving around my goddamn microphone to see the screen. Dark chat. There we go. There. It blocks it out, but still. Wait, can I mess with the opacity of the box? Next to that, mess with the text. There we go. There we go. There we go. That looks way better. Let me just refresh that. It does kind of make the whole thing semi-transparent, but that's whatever. I'll fix it up as I need to. Refresh entirely. Nope. There we go. Yeah, it does make a lot of it transparent. Ugh. Okay, well, it worked. It is what it is. Cool. Got it. Okay. I'm glad I'm working, though. I'm glad I'm actually writing this again, because I do need to get back in this groove. Because I think part of what makes it hit me weird is because when I do get a chapter done, I usually have at least like a month or so worth of uploads after I split it up. Because it's a web novel. Okay, so I'm going to go off a bit and kind of explain part of how this works for me with the web novel thing is, because it is a web novel, I have to, technically speaking, make chapters shorter. So, like, when it comes to the stuff that I personally write for, like, fan fiction or other stuff, I usually write chapters that are, like, 4,000 to 5,000 words long. Maybe 6K if I'm feeling a bit spicy. Maybe even longer if it's something where I just don't want to break it up. But because of the fact that I am publishing this on a website as a web novel, I basically have to take every chapter and split them up into smaller individual segments where at most they're maybe 1 to 2K. Because according to people who I have been told about when it comes to these websites, they consider a 1 or even 2,000 word chapter to be long. So now this actually does kind of work out better for me because the way I write chapters means that I can often get scenes done and then I just break the chapter up into individual scenes as I go. And then that just kind of means that I can break up a larger, bigger chapter into like a month's worth of weekly uploads. So my goal, and what I want to try and get better to, but I keep falling off it because funny autism brain stuff, is trying to get multiple chapters done so that way, like, while I'm publishing one weekly, I'm working on the next one and then continuing this chain, which was my goal. And I'm going to say I'm going to make a New Year's resolution, ew, but probably isn't going to pan out, knowing me. Because I got done with chapter 7 of the current, because I'm on the second arc, that's a big thing. I am on the second arc of the story. And I finished the first arc last year. And I was working on the second arc from the beginning of this year. And then I fell off around March. Around the beginning of summer. I forget precisely when, but it was around then. So, basically I spent all of summer not doing shit with this, but I was still writing fanfiction, so it wasn't like I wasn't writing anything, but still. But it did at least mean that when it came to actually publishing it... Okay, no, I gotta explain what happened when I first got the contracts to actually publish this on the website. So, what was funny is when they publish it, they want you to at least go in with... I think I'm definitely allowed to say this. They want you to start off with pitting out, like, 5 chapters, right? Like, have 5 chapters ready to go that you can start posting as soon as they put it on the website. Well, funny thing, because I thought... Because I didn't know how the website formatting worked in the average length of chapters, I thought this was going to be 5 chapters in my usual length, right? So I spent maybe a month leading up to things, getting ready to go through the process. Having to write a ton of chapters. So I wrote 5 full-size chapters in what I would normally do. And then when I realized, oh, I can just break them into smaller things, going into publishing this on the website, I had maybe... like 4 months worth, 4 to 5 months worth of chapters of stuff that I could upload every week. So it did ironically actually help me get started. So it helped. And because I now know how the formatting works, it does mean that I kind of think in terms of like, oh, this and that. Now, I'm never gonna stop writing the chapters the way I do because I kind of try to write them like if it was a bound and published book, how would I want the chapters to actually be formatted? So it's kind of like a weird thing. It's like... I've seen people put it up this way. It's like when they go from making a manga, but then they get it published as a webcomic, and then they have to suddenly, like, rearrange all the chapters to fit the vertical scroll format of a webcomic, basically. So that's kind of what I'm doing, just in writing format. It's like I'm taking manga pages and refitting them to be in the format needed for the website it's being published on. So it works out. But basically, like, if I get, like, a scene... Say for example, I have a scene and it ends at, like... 500 or 600 words, I can just block that out as its own thing to upload and just kind of block the chapters out as I go, you know. Basically, I turn individual scenes into these smaller, weekly published chapters that I have to for the sake of the formatting on the site, is kind of how I take it. So it does make it funny because I kind of write chapters as, like, blocks of scenes anyway, but sometimes it does mean I have one chapter that's just, like, one long, continuous series of events because no reason to break it up. I think, like, chapter 14 of the story, the overall chapter 14, was, like, over 10k words long. Let me actually check it, because let me open up the file. Let me open up the volume 1 file. So the proper chapter 14, the longest fucking yeah, 10,245 words. Over 10k words for this one chapter, because it was just one big fight thing that I needed to do, and I didn't want to toss the whole thing. What? Let's see, the collective volume 1-2 was let LibreOffice finish calculating, 81,000 words, almost 82,000 words. For, like, the full thing. So that's a decently sized novel. In terms of, like, if I were to get it all published in, like, a proper book, it would be a decently length novel. After I, like... I have a buddy, actually. Side story. I have a buddy who, for a creative writing class he was doing for his college, he had to publish, like, a short book, right? He had to, like, self-publish a short book for the sake of this class. And he was talking about it, like, we were there chatting with him as he went through the process. He didn't give us all the details because he didn't want us to actually read the story. God, I need to actually buy my copy, because I know I can. It's on Amazon. And he was talking about, like, all the stuff he had to do to actually format it, get it set up, and all this stuff. And it was like, yeah, it was long and it was expensive. So, like, if I were to format this into, like, say, the average size of your typical Japanese light novel, for example, in terms of, like, the dimensions of one of these average ones, in terms of, like, the page size, the formatting, it would probably... Because the document, to kind of references, the document of the full collective part of the story that I call Volume 1 is, like, 152 pages on your standard, like, Word document size in terms of dimensions and everything with, like, 11-point font. So if that's 152 pages at like roughly 82k words rounded up, that's a pretty decently sized book when it all comes together. So that's like, yeah, that's probably like, I don't know, maybe 300 pages or something in a different page format. I don't know. So it's not a short book. It wouldn't be a short book, but it would be a decently sized one. So let's see. There won't be any. No. My mind is not running on coffee. My mind is running on raw, unfiltered autism. This is just how I work. The last thing I need to be is wired up on caffeine. Like, the last thing I need to be is wired up on caffeine. I don't know. This is just raw, unfiltered. My brain on unmedicated autism. Because, funny thing, when I got diagnosed like 14 years ago, I wasn't given any kind of prescription medication at all. They did not decide that they decided I did not need medication for this. Nope. Which might have been a mistake, but it's fine. I'm good. It's like I've adjusted. I live with it. Yeah, it's just hyperfixation. It's just the frequent whims of the hyperfixation of the week. Haven't even started. Ready? It's suspicious. And then move.
Lots of ideas.
Okay, there. That's a good way to block that scene off. That is... Yeah, that's not bad, actually. That's fine. Bad. That's not... Well, I am a wolf, so there is that. So, you know, I am a wolf, you know, so, yeah. Yeah. Now, granted, if I ever do get to the point, I have talked about the concept of what I would want to do, of a personal avatar if I ever get to the point where I actually have the money to, like, commission it. I don't know what the animal theme would be. I don't even know if I would have an animal theme. Maybe I'd stick to, like, a wolf or something. Maybe I'd go to, like, a bird. I don't know. I'd have to figure that out. Okay, so... Good. I'm happy getting that scene done, though. That's good. That's great. Oh, yeah, that's, See, the problem I have... So, okay. To kind of give it a bit, to kind of give a peek into the brain process, the problem I have when it comes to, like, writing and anything is I tend to occasionally get hit by, like, bad writer's block, because usually I'm like, I start overthinking things. One of the frequent things I've had to do, and I've done this on stream too, by the way, is when I'm writing and I start trying to think of ideas, I usually start trying to plan things out, try to block things in my head, try to have, like, a general skeleton of what I want to do. And sometimes this unfortunately means that I start to overthink it. I start to get lost in the sauce of trying to think of details and plan things and get stuff arranged when I don't need to be going that hard. So sometimes I kind of just have to kind of mentally whack myself and go, keep it simple, stupid. Just say, screw it, do the simple idea. It's kind of a process I heard. I think someone said it too. Like, there's this writing contest that they do every year called NaNoWriMo, which I totally just ignored the fuck out of it this year. Never made an entry for it. And in NaNoWriMo, one of the things they give as, like, genuine advice is when you're trying to think of ideas, they literally say, just, like, chuck ninjas at your characters if you're pressed for ideas. If you need to make something happen, just make it happen, so that way you can get over the hump and start moving on again. So in this case, it's like, okay, I need to get this started. What do I do? And so after making sure that I wasn't just going to repeat exposition I've already given, I could just, like, okay, now we need to do this, so we get this on. So we're doing a little bit of more expositing before I have characters start their big, fancy job. That's going to be the next, like, 5 or 6 chapters, I think. That's kind of what I want to try and aim for. Because, God, I'm going to start blocking out, actually. I'll do this later. I'll do it, like, later. But I need to take the current chapters. The first 7 chapters of this arc. I just need to, like, put them in a big document. I just need to put them in their own collective volume document and kind of see what the current collective word count is. Just kind of block it in my head, you know? Yeah. Funny thing, though, is I actually spent a couple of years planning this novel out before I even got to writing any of it. So I have, like, a bunch of... I have, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14... I have, like, 15 different documents of various core ideas that I made to separate out. And, like, effectively, I made a lore Bible. Because I wanted to go into this making sure that I had everything in the background planned out. So I made, like, a detailed lore Bible of all the development stuff that I needed to keep in mind as I actually wrote the book. So having that helps. Having something I can always go back to reference in case I need to refresh myself of my own ideas is a very handy thing. Of like, okay, here's my note Bible. Here's the theme that I have to reference whenever I need to refresh myself on details, or I want to go, let's make a plot about this thing. Is basically what I've been doing. Like the first couple of the first arc is kind of like getting your classic introductory arc. I also tossed in some Monster Hunter. Very funny. I'm not subtle about the fact, like, slight spoilers of the first arc of the story, but I'm not subtle about the fact that like the big boss monster at the end of the arc is just an XP of Gore Magala from Monster Hunter. I'm the kind of person who likes to wear his inspirations on his sleeves. So I'm like, what if I took Gore Magala and made it worse? Oh yeah, no, I absolutely thought of it when it came to the case. If I was going to be writing my own story, I need to have, like, reference documents in a lore Bible where I can reference concepts and ideas and kind of keep a flow of, like, okay, here's, like, the world history. Here's important characters aside from the main characters. Here's, like, primary locations across the setting. Some of them I might not even go to. I don't know. like, here's how the magic systems work. Here's martial arts styles. Here's important nations. Here's the pantheons, the races, blah, 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 blah. Just general, like, if you were to basically, I made what would be, like, a DM's guide for, like, Dungeons and Dragons, basically. I made a DM's guide for myself. Is what the goal was. Like, I have a bestiary, history, blah, 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 blah. Bestiary was especially fun, though, because it's, like, a mix of shit that I made up and just stuff that I'm getting as references. Oh, yeah. Look, let's just say that when I realized when I was playing Monster Hunter Wilds when it came out earlier this year, and I realized that Gore Magala was in that shit, I was like, yes, please. The fact that Wilds is like a stealth sequel to Monster Hunter 4 is very funny to me, and I'm so glad. God, I'm gonna have to stream it. I did not play the Halloween event because I guess I wasn't that interested in some of the seasonal stuff with Monster Hunter, but Title Update 4 is this month, and I'm absolutely streaming that. Just like how I streamed Title Update 3 with Omega, which was fun. I still haven't cleared Omega a second time. That fight is absolutely fucking nuts. But I know that I want to stream. I'm definitely streaming Wilds again this month whenever Title Update 3 drops, which I think that's like... fucking, is that next week? Shit, that's when my family's visiting. Ah, no. Wait, let me... Okay. We're checking dates real fast. I need to see. MH Wilds Title Update 4. Let's see here. December 6th. That is when my family comes to visit. Fuck. It. That is, in fact, the day when my brother and niece are visiting. Shit. I might not be streaming that day then. Well then. Yeah, I got some family visiting next week, so I might not actually be streaming next week. Oh, wait. I'll figure it. Wait, no, 16th is a Monday. Yeah, no, because the next Saturday is the 13th. 14th, Friday, no. No, that's a Tuesday. Shit, I'm gonna be at work. God damn it. No, wait, let me check my calendar. Hold on, I'm being dumb. What's my calendar say? What's the calendar say? Let me check dates. Okay, yeah, no, so 13th is next week. Shit, that's a Tuesday. I'm gonna be at work. God damn it. I'm gonna have to wait till the weekend to play Title Update 4 then. God damn it. Okay. I'm going to be having to wait on the weekend. Damn, I want to play at launch day, but I do want to stream Title Update 4's content, so that's just going to have to wait until the weekend to play. God damn it. Man, of course it's on Tuesday. Of course it's on Tuesday. Why would it not be? Why would it not be on a day I have to be at work? Oh, yeah, no, I need to. Honestly, I need to get back onto Wilds for a bit and maybe, like, just... do some prep to make sure I have my armor fully upgraded and everything just to be prepared. Let's check my work schedule, actually. Check my schedule, actually, just because of the fact. Taking a moment because I'm done with that soon, so it's fine. It's fine. This is a just chatting stream anyway, so it's not just... Okay, so... what are my work days? Okay, so this week it's whenever... 12 to 8, 12:30 to 8, 12 to 8, 11 to 8. Eclectic, but whatever. Next week, usual. Next week, I have week after that, I have Thursday off. Well, that's because that's Christmas. Of course I have Christmas off. What the fuck am I saying? What? Of course. The week after that is Christmas. What am I saying? Of course I have Christmas off. What? What? I was like, I have that day off. Well, that's because it's December 25th. It's Christmas. God, that Friday is gonna suck, actually. Shit. Oh, man, that Friday's gonna suck, because we're gonna have a bunch of people coming in from, like, all across the county that's gonna bite. Oh, man, that's gonna be busy as hell. Oh, dude, that's gonna be busy. Okay. Funny story. Okay, so funny story. So I live in a pretty quiet part of the U.S. Like, we're not a super busy place. Like, we don't have, like, crazy holidays whenever it comes to shopping at, like, the local retail places, which is where I work my day job. So it's never too bad, right? It's just really busy. We don't have, like, people starting fights for stuff on Black Friday for deals. We've never had that. Plus, over the years, it's obviously calmed down a bit. It was a lot worse a few years ago before the pandemic, but it's very much slowed down over the years, and now it's a lot more orderly, and people just kind of come in to do the deals or whatever. But then again, that's also because I don't live in a big city. But, Christmas Eve is always really funny, though, because we always close early on Christmas Eve. We try to close the store by, like, 6 o'clock. And like clockwork, because I work at Mart of Wall, like clockwork, every Christmas Eve, people are always trying to come in right up until the moment we close the store, and because we start closing the store properly about 5 o'clock. Like, that's kind of when we start trying to cycle people out and be like, hey, we're at to close in an hour, finish up your shopping, go, 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 and then we kind of stop letting people in, I think, relatively 45 minutes before we close. So that way, like, everyone, all the employees have the time to clear up, get everything in order, finish everything up, and then we don't have to worry about it, so that way the store can be closed the next day. And so, like clockwork, usually someone, at least at some point, gets cursed out for having to turn someone away, so that way we can be like, hey, we're closing, sorry, you can't come in. Like clockwork, someone gets cursed out. It's usually at least 1 or 2 people will not get the memo and get mad that they can't just barge into the store at the last minute, like, while we're trying to close, so that way, you know, people can go home for Christmas. Yeah, no, that is the thing. Like, we haven't done week-long deals yet, but I feel like that by stretching, because, like, at my store, we didn't do week-long deals, but we did have, like, a specific day where there would be all the deals, like, right after Thanksgiving. So, right after Thanksgiving was when they did Black Friday. And so that was, like, super busy. There was a ton of people there. The day before Thanksgiving was also super busy. Because, unfortunately for me, because it's a relatively small, not quite growing city, there was a bunch of very small towns that are scattered around the rest of the county where I live. So, we're like one of the city I live in, which is the county seat, and it's like the only real place to go for a lot of these very small, tiny population towns that are scattered around to go to. So basically, there's like a smidge of like population blots in this county where you can actually do any shopping, and then there's a bunch of smaller little villages with like maybe a few hundred people a pop that are scattered around in between these cities. So all of the little towns that are closer to one city or another then basically have to go there to do any serious shopping, like any serious groceries, any serious holiday shopping. So there's like a ton of people who, within our little radius, will come to the store during holidays and other stuff like that. And it just gets absurd. Oh, yeah, no. Like, the first few years that I was working at that store, I remember how bad the Black Fridays were, because that was back when it had to be, like, very orderly. It was back at the time where they actively had to have local cops from the precinct watching the store to make sure no one actually did anything stupid. Like, that stopped, though. Like, that's completely stopped over the last few years. Like, I do not remember... I don't think it's been since the pandemic ended that we've actually had cops present at the store during Black Friday. Like, it's calmed down that much. Like, before, it was always just a countermeasure. We'd always have, like, 5 police SUVs parked around the place. Yeah, no, I can't say I'm not glad that it's done, because, like, I'm glad that I didn't live in a place where we had, like, feral Black Friday stuff going on, because that shit would have been... I would not have been glad to deal with that, because that would have been horrendous. It's just, like, yeah, no. I don't know what it is for some people that, like, this stuff will make them go nuts, but I'm glad I never had to deal with that. Let's see. So, yeah, it's kind of like a, you know, I don't miss this part of American culture. I'm glad we collectively calmed down on this kind of bullshit. Like, hey, you know what? This is one of those things I'm glad we don't do anymore, because that was kind of shit. Jesus. Yeah, well, okay. So, one thing that's happening in my town right now, to continue the chatting, one thing that's happening in my town right now is they're slowly tearing down an old outlet mall that was losing stores basically ever since I moved here, like 10 plus years ago at this point. And there used to be an outlet mall off the highway that used to be a pretty big source of business for this town. However, the guy who owned the outlet mall's property and the buildings and stuff that would be rented out to by the businesses that would build in there, as more and more stores started to bleed out, he would keep jacking up the rent. So my dad told me because he looked into it. The guy would keep jacking up the rent and more stores would just leave because they couldn't keep paying the prices. So over time, all of like the big box store, all of like the big stores that used to be there, like we had a Nike, we had a Foot Locker, we had basically just anywhere that you could actually do some decent shopping for like clothes and footwear and stuff like that. Just over time, just kind of bled out and left the town. It really sucked too, because it meant that like if I wanted to get decent shoes, I either had to order them online or go drive fucking 25 minutes down the highway to the next city over. Which not fun when you don't have a ton of money, and driving half an hour to the next town over is not always an option every weekend. So what's happening now is they're tearing down the outlet mall. Like, they've been going slowly over the process, and I think they've stopped the deconstruction for now because it's the winter and they don't want to be doing that stuff during the winter. But the plan is, I think next year, once they have the demolition all done, they're going to start using that lot for like restaurants and other businesses that are kind of come in, take certain plots and start building on top of that where it used to be once they get it all demolished. So the funniest thing that I know for a fact is coming to the town is a Waffle House. And I have told many people I know online, if I do not start hearing about fights happening at the Waffle House while I am at work, I am going to be sorely disappointed. Like, if we don't start hearing about Waffle House shit at the place after it gets built, I will be disappointed in my town. I will be disappointed in my fellow Americans. I will say, it is useful, though, working at some of these stores, though, because of the employee discount. Like, the entire reason, because last year, well, no, 2 years ago. Yeah, no, the Fight Club's coming to town. Gonna freaking tech and pose up in the parking lot of the Waffle House. But, like, the employee discount's useful, because 2 years ago, when I bought my PS5 to replace my busted PS4 after it just stopped working and gave out on me, employee discounts are very useful, especially if you're buying expensive stuff like consoles, and you get, like, 10% off. It basically just nixes sales tax and helps cover and even make some stuff cheaper. Like, I only spent, like, ordinarily, because of the tax prices, because I live in a state with, like, Texas has, like, an 8.5% sales tax. I hate it, though. Honestly, I do kind of hate it, but it's whatever. It's not the worst. Is that when I bought it, yeah, no, I got 10%. We get 10%. It's kind of, it doesn't do it. Sometimes it's very much not the best kind of employee discount sometimes, but when I bought the PS5, my mom pulled a clutch and decided to just help me cover it completely, but she said tax was my thing. I used my employee discount, totally took off all the tax, and actually saved me like $20. It was very funny. So I used the leftover money to just buy myself lunch that day. But it got really funny because not long after I bought my PS5, I remember that they then, like, almost a month later, I think, is when they announced the PS5S, and I was like, really? And then I found out that the PS5S was going to have, like, a separate disc drive, and I was like, you know what? I'm glad I bought mine when I did, because now I have one that just has the disc drive that I much prefer to have, because I still prefer to buy games physically. I'm very much a bit of a stickler for physical games. I don't like to buy digital unless I have to, and even if I do, I'll usually try to get a physical copy at some point later on, just because it's like, it sticks in my head. It's a very weird thing for me. Okay. Yeah, no, they would do that. I don't think I got one, though. I'm not sure if they started doing that. Yeah, the Black Friday discount coupon. I think they don't remember. They might have just forgotten it. No, they might have stopped doing those. Especially since they reinstated employee bonuses for spring and winter this year. I'm not sure they still do that, which, I mean, I have that to look forward to for one of my paychecks this month is freaking winter bonus. Thank fuck. That'd be very helpful. It means I can actually splurge a little bit this month. Blech. The question is what I'm gonna do, because I want to get a Switch too, but that's gonna be like a tax season thing. That's gonna be a freaking tax return buy, so I don't know what I'm gonna spend it on. It'll be really funny if I spend it on freaking gacha currency and Uber Musume, because we got some characters that are coming around this month that I might want to actually roll for. So that's kind of on me. I should definitely, like, actually play Uma Musume on stream again, just because I do enjoy it. Especially because of the fact I do want to do some story stuff. But I've been playing that more or less privately on my phone, and oh lord, I had fun today. So, continue story time, because I think I'm good on writing for right now. I'll keep going personally. But, so, hello, welcome, Akira. Okay, you know what, I'm still going to keep writing, but I want to talk this story. So, hello, welcome to the chat. So, part of it is with me playing Uma Musume lately, I've been trying to clear out the half anniversary missions because you got to do like 20 runs of of the new scenario. I only need to do 2 more. Thank fuck, I'm done. But part of the reason why I almost got it done, is because I wanted to get the unique epithet for Symboli Rudolph. Now, quick Uma Musume context, every character has like this unique nickname / epithet that they can get at the end of their career if you fulfill certain specific requirements while you're going through it. Some of these are easier than others, some are hilariously easy to get, some are like, you're gonna tear your hair out trying to get it because the RNG will routinely screw you over. So, Rudolph, Symboli Rudolph, has one of the harder epithets to get, which hers is called Emperor. In order to get it, you have to win a certain series of races that is part of her career goals, without losing a single time beforehand in the 1 or 2 races you need to run before you get into that circuit. And then, after that circuit where you can go, where you need to be undefeated, which is the hardest part, because this happens early in the run. So it's the hardest part. Especially because what makes it harder is Symboli Rudolph has a race at the start of her career, the first one she has to do after the debut race, that she is not suited for without inheritances, giving her better affinity for the mile distance in this race. I'm talking complete nonsense. If you don't know Uma Musume, I am so sorry. I'm yapping. So the problem is that I hate that race because of the fact that sometimes, even if I do get the affinity spark that I need at the start of the race, because I do have a character that I can use inheritance from to make it easy, sometimes the RNG is just mean and you lose anyway. But I celebrated today because I had a run that kind of scared me as I started going, because I'm very suspective whenever I get lucky in games like this. And I was just winning consistently. I won the first race. I won the first optional race I did. I won the Triple Crown circuit, as it's called, I needed to win. And then I got worried. I was so worried by the last one that I was going to get bitched out of it again and lose. But I didn't. I got it. I went completely undefeated in the run. Thank God. 14 out of 14 races, complete victory. So not only did I get the epithet I needed for Rudolph, which I'd been trying to get, but it was also the first character I'd gotten to the A+ rank. So I was like, you know what? I don't even care that her sparks ain't that good. I'm taking that shit home. Well, okay, no. The blue spark was kind of because it's a 1-star Santa, but the 3-star pink spark isn't bad. That's good for, like, upping someone for medium distance if they need it, so I can't be too mad about that. Ugh. But it was very funny to me that it's like the best run I've had so far was also on one of the characters that got me like through the rank threshold to get into B+ and everything. So very funny, very fitting, especially since this was also the first character I got like max potential for innate skills. So very funny though. That was what I did this morning. I was like, probably had my heart rate actually spike partway through the run when I just kept winning, and I became more and more afraid that the RNG was going to spite me at some point. But no, not only did I completely go undefeated, I even won the scenario handily. It was great. It was like, oh, that's what I want to feel coming. That's the good shit. So I only needed to do 2 more runs, and I'm just gonna run whoever the hell I want to. Just be fun. Just have fun with it. Because then I can also finish a certain card I've waited on. Anyway. Yapping too much, need water. Other things I've been doing, though, on my free time. I've also been playing Wuthering Waves on my free time. I don't feel like streaming the game, so I've been playing it in my free time. And, like, yeah, I like that way more than Genshin. Yes, no, the stress of the perfect, like, having a good run in Uma Musume, especially if it's going perfectly, is so stressful, because you just become increasingly worried about when the RNG is going to stop being in your favor. It's like, oh god, when's the game going to smack me in the face? When is it going to stop going good? The only thing that stopped this run from being 100% perfect was the goddamn raffle. Like, if I had gotten the hot spring ticket on top of a perfect undefeated run, I think I would have actually screamed. I think I would have actually lost my shit. I would have, like, actually gone screaming into the Discord chat, like, holy shit, guys! I don't want to actually scream right now. Like, I just got my voice back. I just got over the man cold. I don't want to... But, yeah. At the least, it tells me now that at least I can actually break through that, like, A+ threshold. It's still gonna be hard for me because I don't have, like, super buffed up decks anymore. Okay, not that I don't. I went, like, shit on the Kidasan banner, and then there was the 100 free rolls on the support we got for half Annie. So it's not that my decks are bad, I just suck. And sometimes stuff get... Now, luckily for me, I don't play the game for the sake of the PvP stuff, so I don't really ever worry about that. Like, there's the PvP events in Umumusume that come around, and I just, like... don't care for. I just kind of say, whatever. Don't really care. If it care, I don't play them. That's not why I play this game. Other people do. I don't. So never a big concern for me when it comes to, like, any of that stuff. So I just kind of go, whatevs. Like, I just wait for new characters to come around and like, maybe I roll for them. Maybe I don't. Maybe it's whatever. Like, I know some stuff, because there is, like, this month, there are actually some character banners I do kind of want to roll on. Because it's just like, There's a couple of characters I do want. Like, at the end of the month is Major Dober, and I do kind of want to roll on her banner, because I really like Dober. And she's apparently actually considered a pretty valuable character for Inheritance, so that does have my interest. But, yeah, nah. It's just some interesting stuff. It's gonna be wild, like, once we get to the start of 2026, though. I wonder what they're gonna do. Because in a few more months, we're gonna have, like, the full, proper first anniversary. And so that's gonna be really interesting, what they drop for that. Because Half Annie, they dropped a massive, quality of life update and some reworks that, like, did not hit the Japanese version of the game until the end of the first year. So it's going to be really interesting to see what we get with this continued accelerated schedule, because I think I mentioned it before the one time I played the game on stream. Cygames wants to have global Umumusume to parity with the Japanese version by the end of next year. So it's going to be interesting to see, like, how quickly we do or don't get certain stuff. And I don't really care. So there's just a lot of stuff. Like, I'm honestly surprised at the fact that we're past Half Annie have actually kept up with Umumusume as well as I have. Because normally when it comes to gacha games, like, I'll start it out maybe, and then, like, maybe I get, like, a month in and I just fall off and stop playing, and then I just never go back to it. Like, that's legitimately what happened for Genshin, and I just never went back for 6+ years? Yeah, no. Well, it's not too bad, actually. Like, there was definitely, like, the drought period, as we called it, where, like, they stopped handing out, the trading boosters that kind of helped us keep up with the pace in terms of, like, currencies and other stuff to make sure that we weren't, like, getting absolutely fucked by the new schedule. So, basically, the way Umumusume runs it with the schedule is, like, every 2 weeks we get, like, a new character banner, and then it usually ends, and then we have, like, a couple days of, like, one banner before another one comes up. And then they have, like, the story events and stuff. It's relatively, like, in 2-week blocks over the course of the month. Like, let me look again, just to kind of run over. Let's go. Gonna be a little bit of scrolling. Here we go. So, like, okay. So, where we're currently at for right now, the next character banner starts in 2 days, so it starts on Monday the 8th. We're in a current legend race period that ends on the 13th. And the next PvP event also starts with a new character banner on the 8th, and then the 14th is when we swap, is when the current, and then the 14th is when, because the current running character banner ends on the 10th, and we have one that starts on the 8th and runs until the 16th. Another one that starts on the 14th, and then that one ends 2 days after, till Christmas, hilariously enough. And then with the new banner also comes the new story event, which should be easy to do. Then we get another new trainee on the 18th until the 29th. New legend races from the 22nd to the 31st. And then another event that runs from Christmas Eve to January 4th. And then the next character event, the last one for December, that starts on the 28th and runs until the 7th of January. Alongside the final PvP event for 2025. So by the end of the first week of January is when they're clear with the first year stuff, more or less. So it's in relatively 2-week blocks, more or less, of the rotation of everything, with a couple of days in between certain things when it ends before they started the next one. So it's not crazy fast, and I do think they've solved some of the problems that they had with, like, the distribution of extra rewards, because one of the things Side Games has been passing out, and they call it training boosters, is a bunch of the milestone rewards that the Japanese version of the game had at various download milestones or over the years and stuff. And because we're on the accelerated schedule, they've been handing all that stuff out to us periodically as these training boosters, which has been everything from, like, gems to guaranteed pull cards or just straight up a lot of currency. To kind of help pad out the fact that, hey, with how fast this has to go, we might as well just give you guys a bunch of free shit to help you along the way. So I know someone was keeping a list of all the training, of all the stuff. So I don't know where we're at on it currently. But part of what didn't help us for like a solid month, I think, was that there was just a solid month where they didn't hand out any of the boosters or any of the bonus stuff. And it really hurt. Like, everyone felt it. They felt the drought of assistance from Side Games to help keep up with the banners and everything. And it really kind of hurt in the long run, I think. Like, I do think there might have been some people who dropped the game because they just couldn't keep up with the pace during the drought. So, it does help. Like, I'm not free to play. I'm fully admitting to say that I'm not F2P in this game anymore because I will, like, fuck on the Kita-san Black SSR banner because that card is, like, going to remain very good, I think, until we start getting into what was more or less Year 3 content in the game. Though I don't know how long, because I know it still gets used in the JP server to this day. Like, the card is still good enough to be used in JP. But I don't know what the current, like, meta for JP decks is. And it does depend on scenario. But there's some cards that are from Year 1 and stuff that they still use to this day because they're just that fucking good. And there's some that I have that are really good that I don't use because I haven't been able to get more copies of them to make them more powerful than they are. So it just is a matter of what it is. So it's not like I play this game for meta, though. I've always been of the opinion if I get these really good cards, I get them, and then I can be like, hey! So it is what it is. Yep, I definitely think I might be using either Christmas money or Christmas money to get myself a new keyboard, because this one, old and dirty and hard to clean because these stupid I just need to get a keyboard cleaning kit, honestly. I just need to get, like, an actual one that has, like, the things you can use to pull keycaps out on and everything like that. Because I know, like, before, it, like, hurts like a bitch if you have to do it by hand. Alright, let's get a little bit more writing in. Let's see. Yep. Have fun, Night Rose. Good night. I'm not going to be going... I'm going to go for like another half hour because then I'm going to have to go start working on dinner. Well, work is subjective. It's more like I'm tossing a package of little smokies and barbecue sauce into a crock pot and just letting it go for a couple hours. I'm not in the mood to do any serious cooking tonight, so I'm just going to do something easy. And once I'm done with that... Damn. Don't know what I'm going to do the rest of the night. Maybe chill. Maybe game. I don't know. Maybe get back to making story progress in Withering Waves, because I am trying to get as caught up as I can before the 3.0 update sometime this year. I think they're going to do that as like the start of next year, actually. So I probably have the rest of December to get caught up, which shouldn't take too long. I'm going pretty fast, actually. Anyway. I feel clogged up a little bit. Regality? No, that doesn't feel like the right word. This is like the version that you get if it was like a rich air taxi in Cyberpunk 2077. What's the word I'm looking for here? What is the word I'm looking for? Yeah, not spelling words right. Ah! Okay. Good old exposition. Alright. Region. The ruins were worried. Seiker. Where? Secret. Exactly because of those. They don't like to listen. Listen to the orders. No, cords are not. No, it's always the surprising thing to me too when I'm writing that usually once I do get over like whatever hump I'm on and get underway, I'm actually shockingly quick. Like I know there's some people who write at relatively decent paces, but maybe they only do like a couple hundred words a day and like keep it simple and do whatever. And then you have crazy cracked out people who do like thousands within a day, if not more, because they do not. I'm sure that like if I was back to like what I was able to do when I was in high school and I didn't have a day job to worry about, I could probably be back on my shit of doing like thousands of words in a day because I literally have nothing better to do than sit on my ass and write. But like nowadays, because I have a day job and stuff, because most of my weekdays are taken up just doing work, it's like I come back and I'm usually just too worn out and I'm like, I don't want to do anything else. But like if I ever got to the point like either with YouTube or like the novel taking off on the website that like I could quit my day job and just rely on income from that to like live and everything, it would be really funny that I could probably get back onto a pace where I'm just like busting out thousands of words in a day and getting like whole ass books done inside of a month. Because I know I can do it. Like if I really lock in and do it, I could probably absolutely finish this entire thing before December ends. Not gonna quote the sun. Not gonna quote the sun. Besides, it's not even December. It's November. We're on sun brain. Wake me up when November ends. That's the sun. It's not December. But like, if I really locked in, I probably could, because again, I'm on like chapter 8. I probably only need to do like 4 to 5 other chapters after this to be done with the arc. But like, you know, with the way my head works, I might not. But even then, if I really lock in, I probably could. Be like, just make up for stuff and whatever. But I don't know. I'll figure it out. I feel like it's always weird for me because there's always parts in like some stories I write where like there's a particular part of it where I get caught up on like trying to make sure I execute the moment right, and then it just becomes like this hurdle that I spend way too long on because I'm trying to make sure it's where I want it to be and executed properly, and then it just gets messy. Well, not messy in a way. It's just more so messy in that I get caught up in the details. And that's kind of why I had to stop myself and go, okay, just do it. Just get the work done. Get it done. You got to do it, man. Anyway. Let's see. Alright, keeping those. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta say shut up and do it and just push on and be like, nope, quit worrying about the details. Just take what you're gonna do and go and worry about it later. Like hell, I had to do this on like fan fiction too. It's really funny, actually. Speaking of fan fiction, while I take a moment to think out some lines. Funny thing happened with with one of my fan fiction recently is a few months ago, like a couple months ago actually. I had this So I'm a Spider So What fanfic that I started writing like 4 years ago, back when that series was kind of booming back on Crunchyroll, which, I mean, weird that it kind of was because the anime adaptation fucking sucks. Like, don't get me wrong, the books are actually really good. So I'm a Spider So What is actually a really good light novel series, especially once it gets its stride underway. But the anime is not good. Like, it's held up mostly, I think, because of the Japanese dub, because Aoi Yuki was putting her whole fucking chest into that shit. But, I wrote that stuff back during, like, when the anime was booming and having a wave of popularity. And it is far and away, at least on fanfiction.net. I don't quite know the metrics on AO3, because AO3 metrics fucking suck. Like, I like AO3 for its formatting ability and its thread system, but I think its metrics could use some work. Its metrics kind of suck. Though, then again, metrics aren't the point of AO3. But, like, by a country mile, this story that I wrote, Sama Basilisk So What, is, like, the singular most popular Kumodesu fic on FFN. Like, the FFN archive for Sama Spider is very small anyway. It only has like 32 fics. But this one that I wrote has over 1K in terms of like favorites and follows, and the second biggest story has barely half as many. It is wild how many people actually like favorite and follow this fic. And then like the second I started writing it again, they all like immediately came back. It's very funny. But it's like, it's staggering to me like how popular it got. Like, I'm like, why? It shocks me now, but like, I basically brain rotted myself into getting back into writing it. Because I think I was just one day at work listening to songs, and then I came back across the opening and endings from So I'm a Spider. And like, unironically, the ending songs brain rotted me into deciding to work on it again because I just enjoy Aoi Yuki so much. It was so funny to me. It was like, I said in the author's note, I was like, hey, if you want to know why I decided to start writing this again, blame the character herself because I got brain rotted. So the hyperfixation just kicked back in. It's like, yeah, okay, we're doing this again. Fuck it. I know it's been 4 years. It's coming back. Like, I'm actually almost done with the next chapter of that too, but I wanted to get working on this one, at least get underway on it again, because I feel like once I get going on it again, I can get consistent, and that's kind of what I want to do, is I want to try and be consistent as much as I can, despite the way my brain works, which is usually my struggle. Anyway. Okay, now I need to think of a name for another location. Shit, this is gonna occupy me. It's always whenever I have to come up with a name for a location that I'm like, what do we call this? I hate it when I get to these moments. Names are always the worst for me. Because, like, I can come up with everything around, then I get to, like, having to give it a name, and I'm like, It's like all processing stops because, like, nope, now you need to think of a name, and now it needs to be thematically appropriate and shit. I'm just like, fuck. Like, it needs, okay, so the context is I have to name a canyon. I have to name a canyon now. So I'm just like, okay, the what canyon? What do I want to be funny about this? Because, I mean, again, I can just be funny and generic, but at the same time, my brain's like, no, you have to make it a thematically appropriate name. I'm like, do I really? Wait, actually. Meek. Nah. Oh, God. Actually, speaking of Meat Canyon, I did see he recently put out another animation. He did actually recently put out another animation based on, like, the fucking Wicked interviews, which, like, my sister likes those movies. I don't care for them. But, like, I've seen stuff about, like, interviews. I'm just like, what happened on the set of those movies? The actors don't look well. I'm just concerned. Like, I'm actively concerned for the actors. They don't look well. It's like, it's whatever. I mean, not really, but I don't know. I don't like to pay attention to Hollywood, so I usually don't care. Let's see. I'm concerned the naming scheme of this place, actually. Yeah, no, it's weird. Okay, so let's see. Sapphire Stretch, Amber Gate. Yeah, no, this nation definitely has a bit of a theme of naming stuff after, like, gemstones and everything, so... Yeah. So, like, what? Onyx Canyon, that sounds good. Onyx Canyon. Onyx Canyon. Yeah, no. Again, I don't pay attention, but, like, I've seen, it's so... Like, I don't think it's appropriate for me to talk about it, but it's like, I've just seen the footage of, like, the interviews, and I'm just like... there's... Like, I don't know what the filming conditions for those movies have been like, but, like, the actors just don't look good, and it's like, this is... I feel like... What I'll say is, I won't be surprised if in, like, a year or two... we start learning about, like, what the set conditions for the Wicked movies were like, and it turns out to be horrendous. Like, I won't be surprised if that happens. Like, if we learn in, like, a year or two that the set conditions for filming the Wicked movies were absolutely atrocious for everyone involved, I won't be surprised. Like, I can't confirm or deny anything, but I won't be surprised if that does come out and it turns out that everyone was kind of right, that, like, some shit was going on that set. It wouldn't really shock me, because it feels like something's going on there. Some crazy top-tier Hollywood shit is what I feel like is going on. Must have been going on. I don't know. So it is just one of those things. I'm not gonna repeat the point for a third time. I'm doing that thing I do again. You know, I know one thing I'll say that I also haven't done in a while. I also haven't been playing Final Fantasy 14 in a while, just because I have not been able to pay my sub. Like, as painful as it is, I've missed out on the last couple of patch cycles because I just haven't been able to keep up with paying my sub, because this year has not been fun for me, financially speaking. So it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna have to stop playing the game for a little while. It'll be there when I can go back to it, but, like... Jeff Goldblum looked like normal Jeff Goldblum. At least it wasn't Jeff Goldblum in The Fly. I'm never gonna get tired of that joke from SA or Abridged. But, yeah, at the least I know if I ever do decide I'm gonna get back to Final Fantasy XIV, it'll probably be like when I got caught up for, Dawn Trail, where it's like I can probably get it done in, like, inside of a weekend and shit. Like, it won't be too bad to get caught up, but it's just gonna be like I don't have the time to, or, no, not even I don't have the time, just I don't have the money. Because, like, a $12, $13-ish sub every month is like, yeah, I got things to consider, man. So it just can't really happen until I get... Part of the problem was because these last couple months especially, because it was pre-holidays, my work hours got absolutely fucked. So I was just not operating on my usual budget, which is definitely what part of why I wasn't, because I was like, yeah, no, I gotta prioritize. It's like, I just gotta prioritize stuff. All I can really do. Let's see. You know what? I'm about to doom scroll. You know what? Nope, I'm stopping myself. I'm about to doom scroll my Twitter timeline. I ain't doing that. Nope. See, I'm glad I learned my lesson from when I used to be on Twitter a couple years ago, because I got caught in, like, bad doom scrolling a couple years back, and I had to straight up deactivate my account. And now I have learned my lessons, so whenever I do catch myself, I'm like, wait, nope, I'm doom scrolling. Stop, shut it down, go away for a bit, do something else for a few hours, don't doom scroll, don't get caught up in it. Twitter is not reality, don't pay attention to it, because everyone on that website is fucking crazy. It's just, yeah. So at least I'm at the point where I can say, yeah, no, I can catch myself on a doom scroll. Oh, yeah, no, like, I sometimes have to straight up move off the FYP, because the For You page is atrocious on Twitter nowadays. Like, you can get stuff on your FYP that you absolutely know has nothing to do with the people you follow, and it's just being shoved there because Elon's algorithm is fucking atrocious, by the way. Speaking of Muskrat and his fucking algorithm, now, I can't confirm this. I will not say this has been confirmed. I don't know if it's actually true. But there was an article going around that said that, like, oh, hey, Elon, like, did transparency on the algorithm. I don't believe it. I don't really believe it, but it's kind of one of those things where I don't believe it, but I would also not be surprised if this is true. Where apparently there's a lot of things in the current Twitter algorithm that, like, absolutely fuck your shit in terms of, like, actually reaching. The main one that I absolutely believe that I saw from this is that if you're not paying for the Twitter Blue subscription, you just have, like, almost no reach or pull in the algorithm, which that surprises fucking nobody. Like, that's absolutely part of it, I do believe. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But, like, apparently there's just a lot of things that, like, if you're not paying the Twitter Blue sub, if you, like, or, like, you can straight up, like, if you block or mute somebody that possibly, again, not confirmed, we're on the internet, so I'm not saying any of this is confirmed or true, because I'm speculating based on an article that is not confirmed to be factual. Possibly, the Twitter algorithm possibly might derank somebody if you mute and or block them, even if you're just muting them because you don't really want, like, your side of the algorithm to get inundated with that content. So it's like, yeah, that's like, ooh boy. So, like, that's kind of rough. It's like, dude, there's people I've muted on Twitter just because I don't really care. Like, I mute gimmick accounts constantly because I don't like, I don't like, I think gimmick accounts are stupid. People who run gimmick accounts are often fucking weird and crazy. And it's like, also, I've seen one too many times of gimmick account QRT chains on my FYP to be like, yeah, no, I did not consent to see your stupid fucking roleplay. Keep that to, like, a Discord server, please, on God. Please don't. Don't do that publicly. There's so many people on Twitter who forget that Twitter is a public place, and there are so many people on there who say shit that I'm like, I would not admit this to the fucking FBI. Like, I would not admit this to the government if they tortured me for it. And you're saying this in a public place on Twitter. What is wrong with you? Like, it reminds me, there's this one video that I come back across it, like, I think maybe every couple months, where the guy's entire topic is, hey, the internet's a public place, you know that, right? You don't have to put everything you do on the internet. There's some stuff that can just be private. But I mean, that is the problem, though. Some people treat the internet, like Twitter and stuff like that, as like a journal and everything. So that's why they say shit that I just don't think should ever be said publicly by a human being. Like, that's just how it is. But it's like, because some people will treat it as like a personal life blog or anything like that, they'll say heinous things, and it just doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, usually I try to keep it art or art only, or just VTubers, but then there's like some mutuals I have that like they engage with certain stuff, and so obviously that shows up on the FYP, and I just kind of scroll past it at that point. It's like, yeah, okay, you're doing your thing, you're engaging with what you want to engage with, but not my deal, not my problem. Ay. Jaw's a little sore. Wait, this, let's see here. Oh, right, there was some more stuff for, Crossworlds. Let's see. Oh, good shit. They added a feature in, Sonic Racing Crossworlds where you can actually spend your, tickets on, gadgets that were, like, exclusive to, rewards. Thank fuck. Let's see here. That's... Okay, that makes sense. Gadget adjustments, other adjustments, any anti-cheat measures. I'll just need to log back in on the game and check some of that stuff. Yeah, no. Well, habit that I've gotten into when I'm like if I'm posting anything on Twitter, like if I'm drafting out a post and I'm like in the middle of typing it, I'll stop midway, I'll look at what I'm typing and go, do I actually want to put this on the internet for God and everyone to see? If the answer is no, because I wouldn't want even the FBI to know this, I delete everything I wrote and just delete the tweet I write. I don't even leave it in drafts. I don't even leave the thought in drafts. I just like type it out, go, do I want to post this? Yes or no? If it's no, the entire thing gets deleted without even being left a trace of. So I'm just like, yep, moving on. So I've generally found a way to avoid saying generally out of pocket or weird shit. So sometimes I say some stuff, but sometimes I'm usually pretty good at like, you know what? Not going to do this. I think part of what helps is the fact I don't like the character limit. Like, I'm not paying for Twitter Blue. Like, I've established that now. Like, I'm not paying for the sub. I'm too broke right now to bother even paying $2 to the fucking muskrat. But, because of the character limit, if you don't have a verified account, it gets on my nerves because of the way my brain is, where, like, I try to get thoughts out, and then, like, I'll type a paragraph up, but then it's, like, a couple of characters over the character limit, and so it's, like, I don't want to have to dumb down my sentence by a few words that I do think help with the context, so I'm just like, you know what? It's past the character limit, I don't want to make a thread, fuck it. So, yeah. It also doesn't help that there's a lot of stuff that's been influenced by the fucking Grok AI that I just don't vibe with. I have fucked with Grok before, though. Like, I have actively fucked with it by, like, seeing what it, like, gets out of my posts and threads and shit. So, that's kind of, like, the only thing I think is good for, like, LLM AIs is fucking with it and seeing how you can break it, because that's funny to do. It's funny to mess with the LLMs, is basically my opinion. But, let's see. Yeah. No, I think that's good enough, actually. That's good enough for today. Good chill time, though. Yapping plenty. I need to go get dinner ready, and then I'm going to keep writing for tonight and stuff. Maybe, I don't know, play something. God. I should check some stuff with Crossworlds, though. Maybe see if I can finally play online matches, because that's been a problem for me with it, is that, like, my internet the servers are so spotty with my internet connection, I just can't play it online, no matter how much I want to. Anyway. That's it for tonight. I'm gonna figure out what the hell I'm gonna play tomorrow. Not sure right now, but I'll figure it out. I'll have something lined up. Eventually. Maybe. Hopefully. The shadows under this model's eyes are very appropriate for how I feel. Yep, have a good night. See y'all later.